What's up, dudes and dudes here? And my name's Scyushi, and we are back to Trove. You see my abomination? Do you like it? So, today we're going to be talking about Phase 3 of the event. And you guys are going to want to definitely log in for this because there is a free dragon that you can end up obtaining. Free as in free to play accessible, not something that you get out of the cash shop. In fact, there's nothing out of the cash shop that'll help with this. There is a couple other things to note, though, before we end up getting into the quest line, namely that all of those items, you remember my video about all the secret items that you could end up getting out of the cake dungeon? So there was a couple costumes, couple mounts, and so on and so forth. In that video, I talked about the fact that those items would be obtainable free to play, free to play. You could craft them down the line, right? Well, now with Event Phase 3, they are all craftable in Cubesley's inventory. And unfortunately for a lot of us, they are extremely cheap. So you might be thinking 50k flux is expensive, in which case you don't know what expensive is, frankly speaking, because most of these, they're all just across the board 50k, 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 but then it costs a various amount of the Sunfest sparks, which there's nothing to spend these on, honestly, and then the Sunfest sigils, which once again, there's nothing to spend these on. This ally is the only thing that's worth, these allies, I should say, are 30k each, so it's quite expensive, but when you consider the fact that I ended up spending like over 30 mil to get all of these so that I could show them to you guys in a video early, well, I'll just say, if you get any of these out of the cake dungeons, save them. Hold on to them, because after a few months, you know, they might end up going back up in value to people that don't know any better, and more so don't know how ridiculously cheap these are. It's ridiculously cheap. It's so cheap to craft these, it makes me mad. Because why? Why would anybody buy this anymore for over a mil flux when this is 50 flux or 50k flux? May as well be 50 flux. But that's okay, because I heard one of you guys ended up saying that it cost like, what? I laughed about people buying those costumes not to make fun. I spent 300 mil for it. But okay, let's start with the first part of the quest. Talk to Patrolsley in the hub. That's it. Next part, speak to House Tysorian. So you're gonna go over to this guy, interact with him. Then he wants you to bring an apology letter over to Carrie's, so just his next door neighbor. And then you'll get a sigil for that. I'm not even gonna say what you get for these, because honestly, who cares? Then you go over to Panate and interact with this guy, do the same thing. Then speak with Patrolsley again. Then you have to fight shadowy invaders across Trove. Now, the most efficient ways of fighting these invaders prior to Phase 3 was a huge group of people either in the Delves fighting Leviathans or in a ship/tower. Because as you have more people around, it means more invaders can spawn when you end up completing dungeon objectives, which ultimately ends up going through it pretty quickly. However, there is a new portal that can spawn here in the hub. I'm going to try my best to explain this in a way that makes sense. So, Dragon Coin challenges spawn every hour on the hour. So, 4 o'clock in the morning, there's going to end up being some sort of dragon challenge, whether it be a dragon portal or just a dragon challenge or even a rampage challenge. No matter what, on the hour, there's going to end up being something related to that. The event portal spawns half an hour after that. So on the 4:30, on the 5:30, 6:30, halfway through the hour, there's always going to end up being an event portal. The event portal is around for 20 minutes, and you can go through it, kill this guy, the Pinata God, and whenever he dies, because there's going to be a lot of people in there with you farming this, you will be able to see a ton of invaders. So if you don't want to end up grinding the invaders from other means, just wait for the portal to show up, hop in there, kill him, have the invaders spawn, kill a bunch of them. Again, this is me kind of stepping a little bit further than we need to for the actual quest line, but this is the most efficient way that you can end up killing the shadows. And then there's other parts to that portal, which we'll get into. So kill 100 invaders. Then you have to speak with House Tysorian once again. House Tysorian is this guy, right? Yeah, I nailed it. Then you have to craft a slow burn fluid. So in the House Tizorian's crafting table or the Carrie's crafting table or any of these crafting tables for the event, there's going to be this slow burn fluid, which, wouldn't you know it, costs golden souls and somber souls. Why do I, a player from over 10 years ago, only have a limited amount of somber souls and golden souls? Because somebody on the dev team is an idiot and they didn't check to see if I ended up earning all of my thousands of somber souls and golden souls legit months ago. So when all the duping was going on, they basically must have looked at my inventory and just went, wait, this guy's got way too many. So they removed them, but I didn't know that they did. Otherwise I would have, sent in a ticket around then or something. Because otherwise I don't know when they did it. I don't know a timestamp. I just know I had thousands of these because I've been playing this game for 10 years. Anyways, I'm not salty about it. You are. So you craft one of these, right? Then it wants you to defeat the Moontouch Menace. So now you'll have to go into another portal, or if you ended up completing the last parts of the event quick enough, a portal should still be open. Or if you have a friend that's already inside one of the portals, even if they've closed, they can summon you in. So at that point, defeat the Pinata God Moontouch Menace. And then the next part of the quest is to use the slow burn fluid on the Sunfest Pyre. Now, here's where things get interesting, but also frustrating at the same time. Basically, this Sunfest Pyre is going to operate the same as the Luxian Trials. By that I mean the slow burn fluid is going to slowly increase in crafting cost until daily reset, meaning that it's going to get exponentially more expensive for your somber souls and your golden souls as you perpetually craft more and more and more of these dragon fragments. Now, one could argue this is stupid, I hate it, but here's my rebuttal. This technically is a way that they've gotten around the corner a little bit, because technically it means that this dragon isn't time gated. But it kind of is, because obviously to be more cost effective, you just wait a couple days, because as the reset comes around, it resets the daily crafting cost. So for my money and sense of worth with these resources, I would say craft maybe like 25 fragments a day if you can manage it. And then you'll still get the dragon within 4 days, maybe even less, because for every dragon fragment you craft, you can get 1 to 5. So if you're really, really unlucky, right? But the thing that you have to consider is that this event as a whole is sticking around until the end of July, which means that technically you only have to craft a minimum of 8 or 9 per day over the 2 weeks that the event is still around. And then you'll end up getting your hands on the dragon. So it's going to be more cost effective again for your golden soul and your somber soul to save your money in the long run, save your flux in the long run. Anyways, once you've used the slow burn fluid, the last part of the quest, which it kind of glitches out for a lot of people and automatically completes, is to just interact with Cubesley again. And then that's it. You're done. The entirety of the event is over. Phase 4 doesn't exist. Phase 4 is simply just an extra week of this. But as far as I know, next week, Luxian is going to return, and he's supposed to have a new carpet mount or something. That's what people data mined. I didn't even know that I ended up getting this pinata at some point. Oh, it's a pinata head. Oh, nice. Okay, anyway, so let's go over here so I can show you guys the dragon itself, because it's a little bit disgusting. So there's going to be this dormant dragon egg, right? And I was able to get like 28 of these. I could craft more of them, but again, because my golden souls and somber souls was systematically removed from my inventory, it means that basically I need to be very, very cautious with the amount of them that I spend to get the fluid. But I don't know. I'll still probably have to drop down quite a bit of flux just to get this in an efficient timing so I can show it off in a video to you guys. Another thing that you'll notice is during this event, we also have the lunar event returned, which means that you'll be able to get the snake dragon. But anyways, let's go to the dragon itself. So what does it cost? 350 dragon coins. Yikes. I don't even get me started on dragon coins. We've already talked that topic to death. The devs clearly have no rhyme or reason or sense of value of time to the amount of dragon coins that you just need in this game anymore, especially when we already just ended up crafting stupid Luxion. But anyway, and then 35k flux, whatever. I think this dragon should be no dragon coins, or every dragon across the board should only be 100 or something like that, because otherwise it takes like 800 hours completely free to play to actually grind out the amount of dragon coins that you need for every dragon in the game. And that's also not taking into account that the dragon coin challenge has to spawn on every hour, and sometimes a rampage spawns, which means that you just wasted like 2 hours actually, because 1 hour waiting for it. It's a rampage challenge, wait for the next hour. My point is dragon coins are systematically broken as far as this game's concerned. And you could argue, oh, well, they want you to spend money on the greater dragon cache and dragon boosters. I get that, but it's still far too inflated for free-to-play players. It's ridiculous. The only reason myself and many others in this game can get all of these dragons is because we stocked up dragon coins years ago, because they were better. They were easier to obtain back then, believe it or not. Anyways, I think that pretty much covers it. Hey, Atro. As far as the event is concerned. Lastly, I guess I would say when you're fighting the Pinata God, you're going to want to swap onto Draco. The reason for that is because the Pinata God enemy itself acts the same as a Pinata in the game. So Pinatas, or even Rampage bosses, basically have this thing where you can only deal 1 damage to them, regardless of how often, just 1 damage, period. So the reason you'll use Draco, and it's the most efficient for fighting the Pinata God, is because basically you have your fire damage just doing damage per tick. And so that's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then when you have your Draco babies taken into account, they're also doing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and you can have a total of 6 of them, and then including yourself. So that's about 7 damage per tick or something like that. Versus you can use other classes, like, you know, Chloromancer has the spinning plants, there's Tomb Raiser as well, but generally speaking, all the other classes are slower because they require a little bit more upkeep and don't have the same amount of uptime towards their damage. Now, the thing is, you can actually just use a low-level Draco as well, because it doesn't matter how powerful your Draco is because you're only dealing 1 damage. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Smash the like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel. I got lots of other videos planned for you guys, and generally speaking, have been enjoying the streams and so on and so forth. Today, we have a developer live stream. So check out the live stream tab on the YouTube side of things. There will be a scheduled upload, so that'll show in your local time zone when that stream is going to go up. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stream reaction to it. The problem is that they are going to be streaming on Twitch, which means I won't be able to pause their stream to give my reaction and then continue watching. So we'll make it work. In any case, I'm really excited for it because they're supposed to tease what's coming next for Trove. In any case, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.